Okay, so now the drop through vase is out of the kiln. It's time to do that job that everyone finds a little nerve-wracking. So first of all, the first job, I'm going to put a mark using my Sharpie where I'm actually going to score my line. The easiest way to do that is to use your original drop ring, place it back on to the drop through, use your Sharpie and just mark a line all the way around on the vase. Remove the drop ring. Now we have a line that we can see, which I'm going to be scoring on to keep the vase nice and even when I score off that excess rim. Always good just to mark where you're going to start your score, and then you're ready to make your score. So a lot of people would score on the outside of the vase. I find this is a little more difficult to achieve because, you know, when you're on that outside edge, your cutter seems to want to just kind of move too quickly. So I do my scoring on the inside of the vase. So I'm going to be using this little stubby glass cutter just so I can get in to the inside of the vase and find that mark just on the vase where you're going to start your score, and then basically you're just going to nice and evenly and slowly follow that line that you've drawn with your Sharpie all the way around. So as you score, you're going to be moving and revolving the vase as you go. Taking your time to do this, there's no rush. The cutter's not going to jump because you're on that nice inner curve. Not too much pressure, keeping that cutter upright to the mark. Almost back around to where I started. I'm just looking for where my mark is. And almost there. Right, so that's the score performed. So now turn your vase back over. So now the score is there. I need to now encourage this score to actually break. So using my brass handled silver schnitt cutter, I'm just going to hold the vase just off the table. So I'm using the weight of that excess rim to help persuade that score to open up. So just go around and just tap that score. As you continue going round, as that score starts to open up, you will hear the tapping becomes duller. So not too hard, just kind of persuade it. And you should be able to see that score starting to open up. See how that sound is becoming duller? I'm just going to chase it all the way around. So now once I think that score is now going all the way around, I'm just just gently lifting that rim just off the table, so I'm using the weight of it and just tapping it, and it comes away just like that. Now the piece is away from that excess rim. Just watch, because those edges can be very sharp. You know, the edges aren't perfect right now, but they're nice and even, so a minimal amount of cold working either by hand or on your lap grinder will straighten up that edge, and it will be lovely and perfect. So the next stage, just to make sure there hasn't been a crack that may be extended down through that process, a good way to test that is just to flick the vase. If you hear any kind of dull sound and that ring isn't there, then there's potentially a crack that extended down. But listening and looking at that, it's all gone perfectly. So the next stage for this vase now is to actually perform the cold working and tidy up those edges, flatten my bottom. So a lot of work now just to get this all nice and lovely and ready to be exhibited. So there we go.